continuing with the chapter number 8, and today we are going to discuss about ozone. So you must have heard about ozone. Ozone, you know, is a light bluish gas which is found in the upper layer of atmosphere, that is stratosphere, and ozone is formed by the action of ultraviolet rays that is coming from the sun. Okay, so whenever it reacts with oxygen, it forms. Whenever this UV rays, UV means ultraviolet rays or radiations, whenever they come in contact with oxygen in the stratosphere, then we get the formation of ozone. So the chemical formula for ozone is O3. So as I told you, whenever this oxygen it comes in contact with UV rays coming from the sun, then the formation of ozone takes place. Okay? Now you have to remember this is also a gas and this ozone is also a gas. Now what is the function of ozone? You must have knowledge. Now this ozone, it is present around 16 kilometers above the Earth's surface, and it acts as a blanket. So it is acting as what? Blanket. Just now you saw the UV ray was coming from the sun and it reacted with oxygen and it got converted to ozone. So ozone is acting as a blanket above 16 kilometers from Earth's surface, and it doesn't allow this ultraviolet ray to come or to enter the Earth's surface. So this is very, very important. Okay, this is the most important function of what? Ozone and its layer. And you have to remember, if this ozone layer was not present, then we would be exposed to the UV rays coming from the sun, and we would be suffering from skin cancer, and it would also destroy many organisms that are present on Earth. Now, you have to remember how this formation of ozone takes place. So whenever this oxygen comes in contact with ultraviolet UV rays, whenever this oxygen comes in contact with ultraviolet ray, then this oxygen molecule will be converted into atom of oxygen. So this is oxygen molecule. Now it has been converted into oxygen atom. Now this oxygen atom, in the second stage, this oxygen atom will combine with another molecule of oxygen to give you ozone. Okay? So in the presence of another molecule of oxygen, this oxygen atom combines with oxygen molecule to give you ozone. Don't forget the formula for ozone is O3. Now, you have to remember this, that this conversion of oxygen to ozone and this ozone to oxygen, they always exist in equilibrium. That means in the stratosphere, oxygen will be converted to ozone, okay, in presence of UV, and this ozone again it gets converted into oxygen. So this keeps on happening in the stratosphere. Now whenever this equilibrium, this is known as what? Equilibrium, gets disturbed, then we have what? We get depletion in ozone layer. Now what is depletion in ozone layer? Depletion in ozone layer means this blanket of ozone now will be, this equilibrium will be disturbed and more oxygen will be formed and you will be having less ozone, and if you have less ozone means what? It will be not possible for this ozone to absorb all the UV rays of the sun. That means we would be then exposed to the harmful effect of the ultraviolet rays. So what causes this depletion of ozone layer? So let's discuss about depletion of ozone layer. Depletion of ozone layer. So I told you just now, this formation of oxygen from ozone and formation of ozone from oxygen, they are always in equilibrium. So whenever this equilibrium gets disturbed, then that causes depletion of ozone layer. Now, what are the factors which are responsible for affecting this equilibrium? Now you have to remember there are mainly two factors. One is oxides of nitrogen, and the second one is chlorine atom. Okay, the second one is free chlorine radical. Now these are the main chemicals which interfere with the equilibrium between oxygen and ozone and will cause depletion in the ozone layer. Now, what are the chemicals in? Chemicals responsible for destruction of ozone layer. So here what you have to know is, from this particular topic, the name of these chemicals. You don't have to remember the equations, name of the chemicals and its formula. So the first one that we have is excessive use of chlorofluorocarbons. So CFCs are responsible for depletion of the ozone layer. The chemicals responsible for the depletion of ozone layer. The first one is chlorofluorocarbons. So what is the formula for chlorofluorocarbon? You have CF2Cl2. So this is the formula for chlorofluorocarbons. Please remember the name of the chemical responsible for ozone layer and its formula. The second one is fuel of planes. The fuels of plane, for this please refer to page number 135. In the planes, what you have, when the fuels of planes burn a large quantity of nitric oxide and other gases are emitted in the atmosphere, nitric oxide reacts with ozone to form nitrogen dioxide and nitrogen trioxide. So, number 2 is plane fuels. Fuel of planes. Now this fuel of planes, whenever they are burned, what is released? Oxides of nitrogen, and they now react with what? They react with ozone layer and convert this ozone layer to oxygen. Now the third point that we have is the use of chemicals in industries like methyl chloride and methyl bromide, carbon tetrachloride. So chemicals in industries like we have methyl chloride, that is CH3, CO, we have methyl bromide, BR, we have carbon tetrachloride. So these are the chemicals which are responsible for the depletion of ozone layer. So you have to remember these 3 points and its formulas. Okay, the chemicals responsible for the depletion of ozone layer, and the main two are what I told you. I have written just before this: oxides of nitrogen and free chlorine radical. So these are the things that you have to learn from this ozone and its depletion of ozone layer. Now on page number 136, you have a table list of major air pollutants, their origin and health impact. So you have carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide. So please go through this list where we have pollutants, origin and its health impact. Okay, so with this we come to the end of this chapter, and now your assignment will be to solve the exercises. This exercise 18 on page number exercise HD on page number 137. Page number 137. So this is your assignment. Please do it. And don't forget, you have to prepare the entire chapter properly, because you will be, most probably you will be having your physical examination. So you need to learn them properly. Make use of this winter vacation. Okay, you have so many days of holidays, and make use of it to revise the things, the chapters that has been taught already. Thank you.